going to go into the teacher's perspective of teaching during COVID.
This year has definitely been the most challenging year to be a teacher, and that is solely for the fact that we were not able to be with our students for a lot of this school year. Whenever it was virtual and whenever we had to do everything through the computers versus not in person, that it was so hard for us to build those same relationships and connections that we would normally do with our students and still try and keep everybody engaged. So although it was really challenging, it was still interesting where we had to learn a lot of new technology and catch on quickly. And I think that was one advantage to the students, to learning a lot of that stuff that might help them in their future and these skills that they might use. However, I know that me personally, I am very glad to be back in person with everybody because it is a lot more fun. We get to do a lot more things and there's a lot less confusion. It's a lot easier to ask for help when we're together.
MustangTV, this is
Miles Camey,
Brentley Webb,
Michael Porter,
and Addison Knight signing off.
Ew, something smells.
I think they need deodorant.
I think it's Carter.
What's that over there? Look, it's Stanky Leg.
Here, try this. Hashtag unstink your stank.
40% of teens and adults don't wear deodorant on the daily.
Don't be part of that 40%. You can find deodorant at your local pharmacy, such as Walgreens or CVS.
Unstink your stank. Signing off from Mustang TV, this is Kara Robinson,
Carter Harrington,
Mahaly Marker,
And Ellie Armstrong.
Today in the BCMS Family and Consumer Science class, we are interviewing 8th grader Kylie on how she is dealing with something that any athlete hopes to never encounter.
I broke it last year in January at an MLK tournament for volleyball. I broke the top smallest bone in my foot. I actually broke 3 bones. I broke one in my ankle, one to the next to my pinky toe, and then one on the top of my foot. I had surgery 3 days before Christmas, and I've been in a cast or a boot since then. Not being able to do sports or walk is really difficult. It's down-putting, it's hard, but you get around it. Going to my practices and sporting events that I can go support my team, that helps a lot, and then my teammates help. And my doctor's really encouraging about the whole thing, so it's pretty easy. I know people that get injured or have mobility problems, it's difficult, but if you have the right people around you, it's easy.
For Mustang TV, this is Kinsley Ward signing off.
can I have your locker combination so I can get my stuff out at the end of the day?
Yeah, sure.
Where'd my math paper go? Hey Riley,
Yeah?
have you seen my math paper?
No, you're always losing things. You probably left it in your binder.
Oh. Where did I put my math paper?
Just set it on the table behind me.
Courtney, where's your math paper?
Somebody took it from my locker.
Well, it's due today.
It really wasn't my fault.
You shouldn't be sharing your locker combination with others. It's 0 in the grade book.
Okay, I learned my lesson.
Be aware, don't share your passwords.
Signing off from Mustang TV, this is Corrigan Ebert
And Riley Ekus.
I was 6 years old. I had just started first grade. I was playing with the other kids from my class, and I fell and couldn't get back up, and so they went to get my dad, and he came and he said, "Get up," and I couldn't, so they took me to a bigger hospital, which the doctor there said he was concerned that it might be the polio that was going around, but he didn't know. So they sent me by ambulance to Kansas City to St. Luke's Hospital. And that's where they found out that I had polio. He sent my dad out of the room because it was contagious and put me in an isolation room. I was the only one in it. And I was in there for, you ask how many days, I was in there for about 2 weeks. 91 days, they released me to go home, but put me in a body brace in the upper body that locked everything in place. And this arm, the right arm, was strapped to the only thing I could do was move my arm back and forth like this. I was in that for about 18 months to 2 years. When I was able to get out of these braces, it's kind of like, if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, he just took off and started running. Well, it wasn't that dramatic, but when I was able to get out of them, I was able to use my left hand as equally as well as my right. It helped me with basketball because in a small school that I was in, the coaching was very limited, and they didn't really teach you how to use the opposite hand anyway. But since I could, it really helped me, and I was able to make the 8th grade basketball team as a 4th grader. Some residual problems, and when I was a senior in high school, Dixon Dively, who were the people working with my feet and my ankles, that notified my dad that he should bring me in to get an operation to fix my ankles until after he's out of school. And they said, "Well, why would you want to wait?" He said, "Well, he's playing in a basketball tournament and he's still got the rest of the basketball season, and then he's got track." And they told my dad, they said, "He's playing sports with those legs and ankles?" And my dad said, "Yeah." So Dixon Dively Clinic said, "Well, don't bring him in then because the way we'll fix it is we'll fuse the bone so that it's locked in place and he won't be able to run." And my dad said, "Well, he's not going to want to get his bone fused. He loves playing sports." So they said, "Well, then he just needs to really remain active, really active." And my dad said, "Don't worry about it. He is active." And they said, "Well, by the time he's 35, though, he will probably be a cripple." So I stayed active, and I was not a cripple, and got to play not just in college, but after I got out of college, I played pass pitch softball and basketball on teams and traveled around. I'm just a blessed person, and I'm thankful for that. So stuff like this, I don't dwell on it. I just know that I've got it, so I deal with it, and I don't have anything I want to change about it.
Turning off/conserving your water is important because it keeps your water purified and clean while protecting the environment. Conserving the water means to use our water usage responsibly and not just leave things running. Only 2% of the Earth's fresh water supply is locked in ice caps and glaciers, while 97.5% of Earth's water supply is saltwater. The solution is to turn the water off after using it in that time of need. Don't just leave it running because in 30 minutes you have to go wash your dog. This will work because you will be conserving water and giving Earth more of a water supply. To learn the importance of conserving water, visit www.housetohouse.net.
This is Tyson, and today we'll be learning a little bit about his favorite sport, soccer.
I am 15 years old. I go to Lee Summit North High School, and I guess you could say my favorite sport is soccer. I'm actually not sure how long I've been playing soccer. The latest I can remember is probably when I was like 5 years old. I started playing soccer as rec, of course, and then recently I've been competitive. Hardships I face are, of course, injuries, just the usual, and then something I've been dealing with my whole life, especially when playing soccer or any sport, is asthma. Asthma has always been a hardship. I remember one game, this was during high school, it was against West. I think it was like, we had like 15 or 20 minutes left of the game, and I just could not breathe and I couldn't catch my breath, so I had to get pulled off, and I took my inhaler and I felt all better. Ever since that, like, I've been subbed off a little earlier than I would have been, because I've been playing for the full game, all the other games, and now I get pulled off with like 20 minutes left to the game. So asthma certainly does not control how I play on the field. I guess asthma has just been something that so usually asthma to me is I just get shortness of breath. It's not too terribly bad, as I know for some others. Overcome anything you can, because you can be anything you want. You just have to try and believe in yourself. Believe.
Signing off, this is Riley Ekus reporting.
Surprise.
Ew, that was gross. You should wash your hands.
That's weird. I'm not washing my hands.
Sit down. I need to have a talk with you. You should really wash your hands, or you could spread germs and get COVID.
What if I'm somewhere where I can't wash my hands?
You can carry some. There's little bottles of hand sanitizer, which kill 99.99999, etc. things from germs.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. Let's go wash our hands.
Yeah, let's.
I'm here with Isaiah Mosey, MustangTV. I'm here with
Patricia Mosey.
And we're going to be talking about how she deals with the pandemic and volleyball, how that affects volleyball this year. So, how do you prepare to how do you practice during the pandemic? How do you prepare?
Usually I go outside, I hit the ball against the wall a few times. I try to get as much in a row as I can. That's how I prepare.
How is playing with the mask going to affect you? Does it affect you at all? What does it do?
Yeah, it affects my breathing. It's really hard to breathe when I'm wearing a mask. I feel like it makes my lips dry.
Yeah, that seems pretty hard. Because when I had football, it was hard to play with a mask on. But I took mine off. So, how do you have any restrictions during, like, limits you can't do in practice because you can't be in big groups and stuff?
Yeah, we can't touch. We can't really be close to each other as much as we usually would.
So does that limit down your drills?
Some of them, yes.
How do you balance out school and volleyball?
I don't think that's not really a problem for me, like balancing it out.
Yeah, because that seems pretty hard. 'Cause, you have the virtual school, you have to keep up with work. It's not that easy, especially for me. Busy days, Yeah, how'd your team do this year for volleyball? Because it's kind of different.
We did okay. We could have done better. I would say that.
What was your record? How was it? Tell me. What was the bad and
the bad and the good? We didn't have as much consistency as we usually do. And we lost a couple players.
Yeah. It's kind of tough.
Players got injured. Players got in trouble. Some situations happened through that period of time.
It was tough. Yeah, the chemistry, it's not as good because you lose the players, right? I'm here with Mustang team. We're signing off. And this is Kozeh.